Roller coasters are one of the classic all-American pastimes, standing as the main attraction and most intensive thrill ride at most major amusement parks. Even for those who are motion sickness inclined, the spectacle of the winding tracks and impressive engineering is something that can be appreciated. But how did the roller coaster come to be? Who was the first person to say, let's all get into a really fast minecart that performs horribly dangerous maneuvers just because we can? And were they admitted for insanity? Let's find out today when we learn about the history of the roller coaster.
3-minute flicks. Entertaining, educating, and enlightening.
When you think of a roller coaster, you probably picture the standard metal cart alongside something of a winding track. However, the origins of the roller coaster were nothing of the sort. In 17th century Russia, entertainment known as Russian mountains were incredibly popular with the upper class. Hills of ice would be carved and constructed into hills and valleys that the riders would slide across in sleds. This would prove to be so popular that the attraction would spread around Europe. However, only being accessible in the coldest winter months was somewhat of a major hindrance, and while there were some disputes between historians on the origins of the first upgraded design, it seems that most believe that the real roller coaster was built under the orders of James III in 1784. While not much is known about James's roller coaster, we do know that in 1812, the French would make their own major upgraded roller coaster featuring wheeled cars that were secured onto tracks, guide rails to stay on course, and much higher speeds than before. Though starting in Europe, the roller coaster craze would eventually come into full swing across the waters in America. In 1873, the Mouse Chunk Switchback Railroad in Pennsylvania would be considered the first American roller coaster. Interestingly enough though, it really wasn't a roller coaster at all, and instead was a repurposed coal mining train that sent riders hurtling down a mountain. Though the Mouse Chunk laid the groundwork, the first majorly successful roller coaster resembled more so what we visualize today. The Coney Island Gravity Switchback Railway that opened in 1884 brought the mechanics and speed of the Mouse Chunk Railroad and added the traditional twists and turns and drops that would become a major part of the roller coaster image. In fact, the Coney Island coaster was so popular that despite only charging a nickel per ride, the coaster was bringing in over $600 every single day, which back then was like a lot of money. This success caught the eye of aspiring entrepreneurs that would also begin building their own coasters, and during the early 1900s, there were 2,000 coasters dotting America. Unfortunately, these coasters are gone today due to regular wear and tear, fires, or simply closing down. The coaster would finally make the switch over to the much more durable steel tracks after Walt Disney took inspiration from the Matterhorn during a trip to Switzerland. The Disney Imagineers got to work and designed the Matterhorn bobsled ride, using steel tracks and polyurethane wheels, resulting in a much safer, long-lasting, and even faster ride. Luckily for us, the coaster craze has stayed pretty comfortably in the public mind, and these thrill rides, along with their deep and interesting history, can still be experienced around the world today.
3-minute flicks. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We create new videos weekly.